Good afternoon and a warm welcome to the grand final of Entrepreneurship Challenge 2022.
We are so happy to see all of you here today, and especially welcome to all of you that is watching this from home. My name is Anna.
And my name is Malin, and we are the project manager of a project here at JIBS called Entrepreneurship Academy. We are thrilled to be standing in front of you here now and to share this fun afternoon together with you.
Yes, me, Malin, and our amazing Entrepreneurship Academy team has been arranging this event, and we too will be your host for today. And we will go through this exciting prize ceremony where you will see the top 6 teams pitch here live, and then the prizes will be announced.
And what a fantastic year this has been of the challenge. As you might know, Entrepreneurship Challenge is a live case for the student here at Jönköping University. It is arranged annually together with JIBS and sponsored by Wealthiest that you will get to hear a bit more about later. The participants get introduced by a real issue faced by a Swedish company here every year. And by taking part of the challenge, you just get those real insights into the company, and you get to apply your knowledge from the studies for real.
Yes, and each year students come with new perspectives and creative solutions to the issue. And each year we have a new interesting case company here that give a challenge to students here at Jönköping University.
And the participants never fail to surprise. It is amazing how interesting and innovative solutions they can come up with in only one day. So under this extreme time pressure, magic truly happens.
It truly does. And this year's case company has been no other than Emballage. And they have really challenged our students this year, which has been so fun.
It has. And we know, of course, that all of you finalists here know very well what the case have been about. But I bet that the rest of you wonder, what have the teams actually been working on? Here to tell you more about the case and the case company, we invite Isak Nilsson, Business Development Manager from Emballage, to the stage. Let's give him an applause.
Hi, Isak. So nice to have you here with us. Can you please tell us a bit more about the case company and what you are doing?
Also come a bit forward so you're in the light.
In the light as well. Yeah, sure can. And Emballage, as you mentioned, is a firm that develops, distributes, and sells packaging solutions. And it started out in Vetlanda in the mid-70s. And historically, we've been selling both packaging solutions and building materials. And building materials in terms of insulation membranes going into walls and roofs. But for all of you that know about our historically most known brand, the T-Flex tape, is going to be disappointed because this is not what it's about. 2019, we split the firm into 2 practices, and we now have 2 separate firms, Tekka and Emballage. And Emballage is the ones working only with packaging solutions, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yes, and for how long have you been with the company?
I've been with the company for 2 years, within the group at least. Yeah.
Nice. Then you know much about it, so we can ask you, how do you think that the students can contribute to your work?
I hope that they can contribute with new ideas, definitely, and a new point of view going into our challenges that we face every day.
Yeah.
And what about this year's case? Could you just briefly describe the case question and what you're looking for?
The case is about the most important topic for us going forward, which is sustainability. And it's about how we look at the question. Obviously, we have the ingoing materials that are very important in what materials we choose, but we need to understand the full value chain in order to take the full scope and the full sustainability aspects into it. When we design a packaging solution, the ingoing material is one part, but how we actually design it often make a bigger impact on the environmental footprint that the product will have. So that is what the challenge is all about. How can we communicate that in an efficient way towards the stakeholders in our value chain, customers, but also externally in our marketing and towards our suppliers, for them to continue the development in the right direction.
And how do you think you will use what you get to hear today after this?
I hope that we can expand the idea that the students come up with. Hopefully we'll have something as clear that we can start doing right away and continue to work with this idea to make it into something in our daily business and in how we operate. That's our ambition, and that's why we're here.
And as a final question to you, what about this competition and these days you have spent here? How have they been for you?
It's been super fun for me, and it's impressive how the students have really getting to know our business and getting to know quite extensively how our value proposition fits into the supply chain that we're in. So that's really fun, but I think we have the best part going forward here with the finale.
Of course.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I will let
Thank
you
you.
back in the audience so you can listen to the pitches. Thank you so much for coming up here.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Isak. We understand that you in the audience are now getting eager to hear the first pitch, because we definitely are.
Yes, definitely. And these pitches are competing for an amazing prize donated by Axel Stinsen. The first prize is 60,000 kroners. Second prize is
40,000.
40,000. Thank you, Molly. And third prize is 20,000.
But that's not all, because the team with the best pitch here today also receives an additional 10,000 kroners sponsored by Science Park in a prize. Anna, what would you do if you won all of this money?
Oh, God, where should I start? It's a lot of money. Like, maybe I could use it for my change semester next year.
That's a good choice, because many of us are leaving this school for the next semester. But before we do, we want to tell all the teams today that you have done a really good job. And on behalf of Entrepreneurship Academy, I can say that we have been very happy to work with you these days. We know that the pre-jury had a difficult time choosing the finalists, but let's give all of the teams an applause first.
And today, as we have said, we had the 6 top best pitches here. And they will get the chance to pitch live in front of all of you here today and you at home. And during this morning, as Molly mentioned, they have presented for the pre-jury. And now it's almost time for them to present here.
And when this, now when we pitch, we are doing it in front of a new jury.
Yes, we have the grand jury here today. Sorry. And in the grand jury, we have Björn Holm, the CEO of TM Emballage. We have Anders Selvander, the CMO of TM Emballage. We have Jerker Modesson, the Dean and Managing Director of JIBS. And we have Annika Cederfelt, Head of Business Policy, the Chamber of Commerce at Jönköping County.
And then we also have Anders Nyberg, Manager of Business Development at Science Park, Isaias Morales, President of JSA, and later on even Jonas Dahlqvist, Assistant Professor of JIBS and will be the Secretary of the jury.
Yes. Just give them a big applause.
But there is one more jury here.
Yes, and that is all of you in the audience, because you get a say in the pitch prize, because that is not the grand jury that decides, that is the audience.
So later you will have a chance to vote for the best pitch. But now, sharpen your ears and get ready to pick your favorites, because we have the first team of the Grand Final 2022 ready to pitch for us. Let me introduce team number 2. Welcome to the stage.
Hi, welcome to the first pitch. My name is Alex, and together with Dimitris, Dom, and Musa, we are team number 2. For this challenge, we identified the problem that T-Embolage wants to analyze and communicate to their clients the sustainability aspect of their packaging product during the purchasing decision. And there's a trade-off between the price or efficiency of this packaging and the sustainability. At the moment, the efficiency is clearly stated by numbers, whereas the sustainability aspect cannot be clearly presented, which leads to a neglect of the sustainability aspect in the purchasing decision. So this leads us to the question, how can we effectively motivate our customers to invest sustainable options and improve decision-making across the value chain? So our solution is to offer information about the CO2 footprint of the products created by the material production and the transportation of them. For this, we have the idea for the tool named EnviroLeap. EnviroLeap can present key metrics during the purchasing decision, like this dashboard. So on this dashboard, you have an overview of different metrics and graphs, which can support the decision-making and deciding between different options of packaging. And the sustainability is giving a numerical value based on the CO2 emission produced during the production of the packaging and the transportation. And those are the two major impact factors of this CO2 emission. We aim to balance the key matrix of efficiency with the metrics of sustainability with this dashboard. So this improves the awareness of the sustainability and gives value to our customer because they receive data and actually can decide based on that. So how do we want to achieve this? So for this, as a database, we need data and we store that on the EnviroLeap platform. And we collect data basically from 2 different sources. The main source is the supplier and the second source is their own company. And the supplier can support us with data based on the product itself, majorly the cost of the product and also the CO2 emission during the production of that. And this is already done with the EDP, the Environmental Product Declaration. And also a valuable data point can be the materials used for this packaging product and the proportion of the recycled components within that. On top of that, we want to add the transportation which took place within the supplier's network, which is as of right now not considered. On our own, we want to calculate the CO2 footprint through the transportation from the supplier to our warehouses and to our clients. And this can be done firstly on a roughly estimation of the distance and the issued CO2. But in the future, it can be actually done on actual measurements, like the driven distance, the fuel used for this distance, and in relation to the transported quantity. Finally, the packaging design. The packaging design can influence the efficiency of how many products can be transported within one product section, and also how much air is transported in an overall sense. Lastly, the recycling opportunities by the consumer can be outlined. So how easy is it to recycle the packaging and how much can be recycled, especially in regard to multi-material packaging? So we want to store and analyze and aggregate this data on a platform. And this central location creates a great potential. We can therefore integrate in the future more data sources to have a better picture of the sustainability aspect. And this data will be more available in the future as there is a great awareness of sustainability issues within this section and more data-driven approaches within companies are seen. For example, the data created by supplier of transportation until we receive the package. As of right now, this isn't considered, but might be in the near future. And beyond that, there are many different other data streams we can't imagine as of right now, but might come up with future development. Making this data more available is not only available for our company and our clients, but also for other stakeholders within our network. This availability can create greater transparency within the value chain and the supply chain. So there is a record of the production, where the product is coming from, which materials are used, and how much CO2 was emissions during the production. That might be easily accessible with a QR code directly on the product, which then opens up the website, which is linked to our platform. So, what can we do in the short term as of right now? We can leverage the existing data, especially in case of efficiency data like prices and other metrics. And we can put that on a preliminary dashboard and also put the already existing CO2 production values of the product itself in relation to that. Additionally, we can also outline the proportion of recycled materials used for this product. Secondly, we can print directly on the packaging how it can be recycled. Recently, we found here in the cafe coffee cups, which are like stated, yeah, it ingredients plastic, but also states, I'm a plant-based cup, please recycle me as a paper packaging. So without this claim on the cup, we would have like put this cup in the normal waste instead of putting it in a paper bin, which would lead to recycling. And we think that it was also easily done with the packaging of TM Monarch. In addition, also a QR code can be included, which could lead to further explanation how to recycle it. Lastly, we see great potential of AI technology benefiting the optimization of the value chain and logistics. So our idea is to analyze data which is already available and connect them to give the customer a better idea of the impact during the decision. But also this platform offers a great potential for including other stakeholders. Thank you very much, and what are your questions?
Thank you, Team 2. We are going to turn to the jury now and let you share that microphone and ask your questions.
Thank you for a very good presentation. I have one question first. Of course, doing this platform comes with a cost, and you are not addressing any potential business models, meaning what do you think about that? Is it that they will sell more? Will their customers pay for the service? You know, what's your thought on the business model for this platform?
So it improves the decision making and giving value to the customer at that point. And within the supply chain and the packaging, the sustainability aspect gets very important during recent times, especially through the lawmaker. So there's really a need for claim how sustainable this production is. So we can say there is a need and also a higher willingness to pay for these services. And as TM Monarch wants to establish themselves as a knowledge provider, that would be like an asset and which shows their capabilities and would consequently increase the willingness for the customer to pay for that.
Thank you.
And furthermore, the data available can be a unique selling point for the company.
Okay, thank you. I also say thank you for a good presentation and a really interesting idea as well. I have one question regarding is it possible to implement this solution in steps? Because just to mention one example, if we are to collect EPDs for all the products from all suppliers, then we may be a couple of years ahead, maybe 5 to 10 years, because it's both expensive and it's hard to get EPDs on each product. Is it possible to, although implement it, although we don't have all the data regarding the environmental data?
the more data you have, the better it is, obviously, but you have to start somehow. And if you start to include rough estimates, especially, well, for example, the distance example we made, then that's like a first step in the right direction. And I think if you build a preliminary dashboard, then you can outline this data step by step. And at some point, you might be able to have enough data to move it to a real platform and use technology to analyze it and build some nice metrics around it to analyze it in a better way and also to show it in a better way.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have any more questions, or do the jury feel that they are happy? Then I say thank you so much, Team 2. Good job. And now I would like to welcome Team 5 to the stage.
Hello everyone. Hugo, why do you have those shoes?
Well, I noticed, Ben, that you have those kind of shoes, and a lot of people in my surrounding have them as well. So I just felt like I needed to get a pair.
But Ben, why would you ask about Hugo's shoes?
The shoe metaphor emphasizes that it doesn't matter whether we are an individual or a business customer, we tend to follow trends, and being influenced by our surrounding doesn't matter whether that's a business or a person, competitors or partners.
Is it double clicking? Yeah, okay, nice. So this is our team, and we are group number 5, and together we have put our skills and efforts to provide the best solution for you. Ben, could you tell us a little bit more about the problem?
The problem is that our customers do not always choose the most sustainable solution to satisfy their needs. Emballage wants to be able to motivate and support our customers in striving towards sustainable solutions. Currently, firms are under the pressure of obliging to demands on sustainability and governmental regulations by staying within the budget.
Alone, a firm might not have the incentives to make the best decisions for the environment. But Emballage wants to offer their clients the support to take this step towards the total sustainability chain, or total hållbarhet, as well as being a role model for innovation, communication, and collaboration. And in order to do this, we need to think outside this box.
So the solution is to create a community. By creating a community, you make people understand that their choices matter together. Today, we make a change, and in order to create a community, we
have created a scoreboard, and this is a simple example that you see up on the board currently. And we will showcase the most sustainable options purchased by our most sustainable customers. And this is based on the system that Emballage will track the percentual amount of sustainable materials used in the packaging solutions. And then we can showcase the top 10 most sustainable clients on their website. And who doesn't like a game? So this will create some friendly competition, motivation, but most importantly, it will create the incentive that customers actually make the decision towards sustainable options, which is exactly what we want.
In marketing, this is called gamification, a way of creating incentives to action in a way that is fun. It also provides the opportunity for companies to show transparency and that they prioritize sustainability, not only within the company, but throughout the entire value chain. The scoreboard can be further developed and referred to in future marketing efforts, both for Emballage and for its customers. Measuring sustainability goes in line with the brand positioning to have a clear standpoint in regards to sustainability.
We will also implement a Emballage Day. During this day, we will invite current and potential customers. At this day, we will have speeches about sustainability, both from guests and in-house lecturers. Current customers will also make reviews about the solutions we had for them. The already established packaging solutions will also be shown throughout the day to inspire potential customers and create the feeling that they want the emballage to create the solution for them.
And we will also supply workshops, and workshops are a great solution for really deepening that knowledge within the area. And also, if Team Emballage want to, they can invite clients within the same industry and build relationships that can be essential towards the Total Hållbarhet or the Total Sustainability Challenge. And whether they choose to invite other actors within the same industry or other industries, we truly believe that you can build relationships, create new business opportunities, and network. And workshops are also a great option and tool for discussion and inspiration.
As mentioned in the shoe metaphor, the decisions that our surroundings make impact the choices that we make. And therefore, by creating an opportunity for people or businesses to collaborate with each other, doing this, we create a learning environment and knowledge spillovers while working towards a common goal, sustainability as a community.
And now you might wonder, what are the main key takeaways to take away from this presentation? Well, while some might believe that the key to the success lies within grand technological innovations or platforms, we simply believe that we can achieve the same results and goal by using community. And the community will be built through our workshops, our day, and our scoreboard. And we will also we all believe that the greatest impact lies within the smallest decisions. And if we can make our customers believe this and see the varieties available to them through our community activities and challenges, we believe that we can truly make the greatest impact.
So, ask yourself the question, do you want to be the role model in the cool shoes who's influencing its surrounding? We can make that happen, but remember, change is made together. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, team number 5. Does the jury have any questions after this pitch?
Yes, hello. Thank you for a nice presentation. It's about gamification, and it's about decision making every day. Every packaging solution is about decision making, different alternatives. And I think out of the companies you showed in the gamification model, how can we affect even smaller companies in everyday decision making to do the right thing? Do you think it's enough for to look at the scoreboard to make the right decision, or is it more long term?
Yeah, now on the scoreboard we could see quite big companies that we all know, and those were just examples. But as we implement this, it could be any company, and it's based on like a percentage. It's not about how much they order, but it's about the quality of what they order.
Do we have any further questions?
Yeah, I have one question, also related to gamification. I'm a bit cynical, but how would you think the gamification would affect companies that do not work with you because they don't rank that up in your scoreboard?
I think that's the purpose of the workshop and the open day. So that's how you attract other companies and new companies, and that's just an extra service you offer. So by creating a scoreboard, like the companies which attend the workshop and the open day, that's just like, then they have the opportunity to join the challenge.
Yeah, I have a bit of a question on the same topic. Being part of a community requires quite a lot from the company or persons entering the community. And have you thought about the incentives for that? I mean, just being top of the scoreboard it's nice, of course, but you're supposed to share openly maybe your business data, what you're doing, your knowledge, etc., to the community. And why should you do that as a company? What's the incentive?
To add to that, we think that we're going to have a further implementation on the scoreboard that you can click on the top companies and see the solutions that we made for them and read more about it to get inspired. And then the whole community thing does not lie only within the scoreboard, but also through these days and workshops where we can work together to find solutions.
We also believe that competition nowadays is mostly based on being the top performer, and that's where competition mostly is negative. But if we can create positive competition that you really strive towards the sustainability together, then I think there will be incentive enough for firms to actually want to be a part of this as well.
And this is also offering a marketing opportunity for the firms as well. So if someone is curious about these companies, then it actually creates kind of like a certification in some sense that they qualify as a sustainability basically.
Thank you so much, both team and jury. I'm going to let you back in the audience. And next up on stage is team number 7.
Today, it has never been as important to focus on sustainability solutions and to be certain of your carbon emissions. And tomorrow, this will be even more crucial. We have a way to give you and your customers the most sustainability for the money. We are Team 7, and this is our idea.
So, by doing a marketing analysis, we have come to the conclusion that several of your competitors, suppliers, and customers share one common belief. There is an upcoming future need for the tracking of a company's carbon dioxide emissions throughout the whole value chain perspective. By having a total sustainability approach, that stretches across the entire value chain and not only focuses on one's own position, the big picture of carbon emissions can be met. In order to bring further development into the industry, we believe that transparency throughout the whole value chain could lead to a more sustainable packaging industry. So, as new generations enter the market, new missions and new visions are all pointing towards a more sustainable future. Although companies today often have some sort of obligation to report and present how much carbon dioxide they produce and consume, the general thought surrounding this is that that is a very hard task to calculate and monitor throughout the whole value chain, especially for companies that have several suppliers.
Yes. So our solution is to build an awareness around the CO2 emissions by creating an internal system that aids tea emballage customers to do the right choice and choose the most sustainable option. The system works like this. So firstly, we gather the emission data from the value chain, then sort it in a search engine. Yes, thanks. So we sort it in a search engine, including transportation length and methods. After the data is collected, the tea emballage can effectively recommend the right choice for the customer by filtering the information given in the customer sales meeting. It will show different geographical transportations and also assist in giving the right material choice by the transport method and usage area. The point is not to put out the quality in a product. You need to have a safe transportation. So instead, when you look at several options, you you can let the sustainable do the talking. With ease, we would also like to add a total footprint to be shown in a product description, like you can see here. This will then give the incentives to the customer to choose products, not only based on preferences, but also what the customer wants, the lower emissions. So looking on a 5-year vision plan, the first 2 years we want to implement our method fast to A/B test what works best and being in the forefront of development. Starting by taking the data we already have today, such as the raw material, which T-Emballage already does in their sustainable declaration. We can also calculate the transportation emissions quite easily. Together, they build the ground system from a financially sustainable perspective. We also looked into the cost of this program, and after reaching out to an IT firm, they said that their basic program to build a system costs around 1 to 2 million. But to give the tool the numbers validation, we suggest to certify it via a certification body or other auditing. When succeeding doing the transition, we want in 5 years to create a fully detailed system which also takes into account to the producer's emissions, not only transportation and raw material.
So, first of all, this solution will bring the company a great marketing edge by putting T-Emballage in the forefront of the industry. During the sales meeting with customers, the focus will not only be on price and quality, it would also be on the amount of carbon emission that is released by the different products and resources. By comparing the different carbon emission alternatives, this will mutually benefit the customers as well, since they will be able to use this information in their sustainability reports, as well as have this in their sales pitch to their customers in turn. And we believe that by being early movers in acquiring this information and applying this tool is the key in order to be a forefront in analyzing and communicating this sustainable offering to the market, which leads directly to the financial aspect of things, because this will increase the potential to a larger market share. Another benefit that you will gain is more insight to your own supply chain, both in terms of raw materials, producers, and the logistic parts of the solution. This in turn will help you lower your own internal emissions and have a good view on this. But just like you said, you aren't in this for charity. The strongest argument to capitalize this is through attracting larger customers in order to have them for extended periods of time. Something we believe that this tool will be able to provide.
Currently, similar solutions are already on the market. For example, Stora Enso, which is a producer of yours, has introduced a pilot project where they have, which were done in March this year, where they have calculated the CO2 emissions per product. Also, Nefab, which is a competitor of yours that is producing plywood, has also done similar calculations as our solution. However, the difference between their and our solution is that they are only focused on the internal. They have their own production, and hence they are only focused on the internal supply chain. The benefit for T-Emballage is that you have the possibility to bring forward a multitude of products to the customer, and then the customer can choose whether the one they want to choose. They could stay with the old usual if they want that. You just provide the option. We believe that this will make the customer change their mindset in a more effective manner, as they are the ones in charge of a potential change.
So, as Generation C is entering the market, one must be ready to tackle the sustainability question. We believe that T-Emballage has the mindset to be a forefront in their industry. We also believe that our idea has the right tools to conduct that vision of conducting profitable business at the same time as working sustainably. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Team 7. I'm now gonna let the jury ask some questions.
Thank you very much for a nice pitch. I have a follow-up question, and that might be due to my inability to fully grasp the idea here. But how I can see a challenge in how you would go about to feed the system with emission data, given that you then are dependent on many different. I mean, not only the internal. It's not internally controlled. So how will this practically be handled? Because you are to coordinate several actors, right? If I understood you right.
Yeah, kind of right. In the future, we believe that every industry have to give out this data, because to the SDGs from the FN, they have the goals 12 and 9.4, 9.b, where they actually direct to this problem that you have to have some kind of a blockchain technology to follow up. Where do you get your materials from? Where do you get your supplies from? You have to show that in the future. It's not up to date to now, but in 5 years, it's absolutely be primary.
And also, some of the numbers you already have. For example, in the miljödeklaration, the sustainability declaration, there is already numbers on the raw material, what is needed. And also the transportation, we have tried to do it ourselves. It is not too difficult to trace the carbon emissions from the transportation. So that is why we suggest to you to start by the raw materials and the transportation to move on to the production, because we believe that that is more difficult, of course. That's why we want you to start by just raw materials and transportation.
Thank you. Very good presentation as well. I just have a question. I see in front of me like kind of a system that collect data that could be available, and it could suggest different options, and it can help us to suggest different options. You don't have to have an idea, but it would be interesting to hear. Do you have an idea on how the system shall be available for the user? Is it for us ourselves to use and present data or suggestions from it, or should it be available to anyone?
What we know today is that NIFAB has developed their own tool to measure internally, and when we talked to them, they said that there were a few customers to them that want to buy this system. So, but what we think is it's quite possible to develop it ourselves internally, which you can also show externally to the customers. But we don't have any specific, but we think that you should have the rights to the ownership, not the customers, so they can go past you, if you understand what I mean. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. A very good presentation. Have you thought of any other aspects or factors of sustainability that you could add to this platform?
Could you please rephrase that?
Have you thought of any other factors that you could add to this? Because now you mentioned raw material and transport, but any other factors that you could also add?
Yeah, so we think that the transports and raw materials are the biggest principles in the thief in the problem, as you may call it. I think that if you look to the producers, which we want to do in the future, there's also many things to get from there, if you know what I mean. So absolutely, the producers you want to look into to the future when they also are the criteria for them providing the data. And there are a few, as we have heard, that are providing this data today, but this will just go rising up in the future. So you have to be the forward thinking here.
And also, we would like, as the transportation, CO2 emissions from transportations are fairly easy, we would also like to add, like after you have done the purchase, you could also include your own transport so that you get the whole chain. So you have it from raw materials, all the transport in between onto the finished customer.
Thank you so much, the jury, and of course, thank you, Team 7. Now, let's welcome Team 9 to the stage.
Shall we begin then? Hello to Emballage. This is your value chain. The way it works is first you receive an order from a customer. Then you help the customer figure out what the best possible packaging solution is for their specific needs. Then you get materials from your material supplier in order to produce the material for their needs, which then gets transported straight to their manufacturing facility in the most convenient and best possible way. So then, the main question of this presentation is, have I bored all of you yet? The real question is, how can we add value to this value chain in a way that is both environmentally and financially sustainable? So when looking at, for example, it's not cooperating, is it? So when, for example, looking at raw materials, you already have connections with over hundreds of different suppliers, so there's not a lot that can be done from that perspective. But when we look at production, it's a pretty similar case. You already have all of the machines to take those materials and turn them into the final products. However, when we talk about orders, that's where things start to get a little bit interesting. So we identified 2 ways the company currently acquires customers, through either through current clients that put new orders for new packaging materials and through recommendations, mostly thanks to the current clients. This means that the company is in an incredibly reactive position where it's only reacting to what you already have in order to get those new customers. So let's say we have a company called Manufacturer AB. This company is currently looking for packaging solutions. How do they find a partner capable of providing these packaging solutions? So the obvious answer to this question would be they Google it. So that's exactly what we did. We looked up some of the most usually searchable queries for this kind of service, like, for example, förpackningsföretag. Where does the emballage lie for this kind of query? The answer is, it doesn't appear whatsoever, not even on the 10th page. We repeated this experiment for multiple other search queries, even emballageföretag, which has the literal name of the company. And the result is, it often lands in the last pages, and even the times it lands on the first page, it's either at the entire bottom or at the middle. Basically, it's dead. So the company is completely failing to appear in the top results for every single possible search query. But the question is, why? Why is it failing to appear in the search result? And that's because of 2 words. Shitty website. So, you say that you care about sustainability, but where is the sustainability page? The header is a complete mess. It's not aligned whatsoever. If we look at the T Emballage logo, it's shifted to the left. Like, it looks like a funeral. And these buttons, they are barely even noticeable. And then you say, from A to B. Are you a shipping company? Honestly, but wait, there's more as well. Sometimes you choose to use lime, other times dark green. How about some yellow? How about 50 different shades of green? A little bit of abstract art. Yeah, I think you get the point. So I'm really glad that you actually do care about sustainability and recycling. And honestly, my first advice to you would probably be to start by recycling the entire website. So what is the purpose of a website? What is it supposed to achieve? First, it needs to be easy to find. Don't make it harder for customers to find you. It also needs to be a place where you can get information. What do you do? Who are you? Why should I, as a manufacturing company, work with you? And that goes to easy to use to navigate. In order to find this information, just because you can add more information to the website doesn't mean you should. Otherwise, you will end up with horrible abominations like the maze of a website of Studentwebben, or even worse, Skatteverket. So here is a prototype website that we made that simply by using 2 words, hållbara förpackningslösningar, explains what your company wants to do, it explains in a quick glance what a customer could potentially expect from working with you. And through the smart use of colors, we can direct the attention of the customer to where you want them to go. So for example, to your solutions. Even the header, it contains the minimal amount of information necessary for the customer to be able to get a quick glance at what you should actually care about as a customer. And having a website like this to easily and comprehensively present it in a way that a 13-year-old could understand it means that you would be able to move from the end of the value chain of the customer to near the start, because you no longer need to play ping pong with emails with the customer in order for them to actually figure out who you are and what you do, but they can get that information themselves by using a properly designed website. Then, moving on to the end of the value chain, there's transportation. The company currently operates a total of 7 diesel-based trucks. And from what we've been told, each of these operates on average 10 hours a day for 30-mile round trips. And by calculating the average type of fuel consumption for this kind of vehicle, it comes out to about 2.49, which comes to more than 500 liters of fuel every single day. That is more liquid than the entire beverage section of a Maxi ICA. So then we realized that Vetlanda, the place where the warehouse is located, is conveniently sitting right on top of a railway used by train companies. This means that if it should be possible for you to make a cooperation or a partnership with some of these freight by train companies, it should be possible for you to provide the exact same quality of service, but in a way that is much more efficient, not only by sustainability, but also in terms of pricing. It also has other benefits of you have 70 hours of driver wages which you don't need to pay anymore, which is a really good financial decision. And it has a lot of other benefits, like, for example, sustainability. It's better than even electric trucks. How about feasibility? Absolutely. You are 5 minutes walking distance away from the train station, based on your warehouse location. So how about price? It's actually cheaper than trucks. So, and considering that the rail network is absolutely huge, it would allow your company the opportunity to put yourself in a position where you can expand to newer markets you weren't in before, in Sweden and also outside of Sweden, because these railway networks connect to all over the place. And being able to connect to places where you weren't before means that you are both able to become better off financially by finding new ways to connect with customers, but also provide your sustainable packaging solutions to those customers. So we tried to call them to be able to give you specific information and statistics on what kind of returns you can expect by using a freight by train system. But unfortunately, we didn't get that information because the conversation went something along the lines of, unfortunately, I don't know the prices. Please send an email and we will contact you within 2 business days. That's a bit unfortunate considering we only had 1 day. So what are the takeaways from this presentation? So the first and foremost is you should fix the website. By far, it is the simplest, most impactful thing that you can do as a company that affects multiple portions of your value chain in a much more significant way that you can imagine. Companies that don't adapt their technology, like their website, and lose their audience retention, and actually there's a quote I really like, the first 50 milliseconds on a website determines whether a customer likes the website and wants to stick around. So fixing the website is not only going to help your company survive in the currently competitive and evolving tech market, but it's also going to help you in numerous other ways. And the other thing is that you should wait until we get a reply from the train freight company so that we can actually give you proper information on how much money you would be saving. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the presentation. Does anyone have any questions?
Great job, team number 9. How does the jury feel about this, and what are your questions to the pitch?
I will start by, wow, we're blown away. Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting point of view. Of course, communication and the website is an important thing, but the main topic of this challenge is about how our existing customers how could we help them in decision making from day to day. It's not actually about the customers coming in, visiting our website. So when develop new packaging for a product in an existing cooperation, how do you, what do you think about that?
Okay, so going back to the concept of the website, having a well-designed website doesn't only need to mean that it's for acquiring new customers, but it can also provide more value to your already existing customers by helping them get information easier about your other packaging solutions without you needing to tell them about it. Because I personally tried to use your website and it was a miserable experience, to say the least. So the odds that a customer can actually find a solution that is better than what they are currently having with you is very low, because they'd actually have to talk with you to do it. But if you actually give them the chance to do these comparisons, by, for example, compare one packaging solution to another straight from a website and a comprehensible page, then they can take decisions by themselves of which way they want to work with you.
Also, I would like to add that if we switch to a train system, instead of using trucks all the way, they have more option to move to a better and sustainable solution.
So I like to think that a successful company like T-Emballage maybe don't make their decisions based out of stupidity or ignorance. So if they are using primarily trucks today instead of trains, there's probably a few good reasons for it. So we're able to dig into a bit more, what are maybe the obstacles with using trains, or why they're not doing that today, and how could they, let's say, overcome these obstacles?
Excellent question that we actually really wanted to tackle, but as we said, these companies are really slow replying, so we can't get you a reasonable answer within the time frame we were given.
So no more questions, I suppose, it seems like. Thank you to the team and the jury. Let's give them an applause. And next up, I would like to welcome team number 12 to the stage.
Days ago, we passed Earth Overshoot Day in Sweden. The day when we have used all resources to live sustainably for this year. This is how transparent we need to be with each other. Hard facts to make us realize we need to change, and this needs to happen right now.
Monarch is currently missing a tool that can provide to support their clients in their decision making for more sustainable a more sustainable choice.
To approach this need, we introduce our concept sustainability through transparency. For the customers of T-Emballage to make the right choice, a sustainability calculation clearly shows how sustainable packaging could be incorporated into a solution based on collected data. The most sustainable packaging solution are awarded with a T-Emballage own sustainable label as a confirmation that the company actively working towards a total sustainability. And to maximize the possibilities and encourage transparency, T-Emballage offers a partnership solution with their customers, where actors through the whole value chain collaborate towards a shared vision and goal of sustainability.
We have created a web-based platform that calculates the total sustainability of any given packaging solution. The application collects the sustainability data from all stakeholders in the value chain and displays it in a smart and understandable format. With this tool, T-Emballage can provide their clients with insights that will guide them to make a more sustainable decision for their packaging solution. Based on the client's choice of solution, the application is calculating the total sustainability score and rank each solution from most to least sustainable. The sustainability score is based on the 3 key pillars of sustainability: environmental, social, and economic. The sustainability assessment gives clients a clear indicator of the sustainability impact from each decision in their solution of choice.
When a customer has chosen the most sustainable choice, they will receive a T-Emballage sustainability label as a proof that the customer has taken concrete action to make their packaging solution more sustainable. The customer will be able to use this label in their marketing communication and also, at the same time, promote T-Emballage.
A partnership offered by Tea Emballage is an opportunity for stakeholders to collaborate with each other. This to maximize the possibilities to develop the most sustainable solutions and encourage transparency with each other. Concrete. Through the sustainability assessment tool, Tea Emballage pair actors with similar goals together, either within the same stage of the value chain or across the chain. Producer with producer, customer with customer, or producer with customer. Especially, we want Tea Emballage to, with the partnership, encourage their customers that are operating within the same industry, for example, the furniture industry, to together work towards a common goal to develop more sustainable packaging solutions. Tea Emballage are the experts. They provide them with solutions through their knowledge and run the business and logistics behind the solution.
Sustainability through transparency provides an innovative and sustainable solution that gives a clear indicator of environmental, social, and economic impact of each decision made by customers. By looking for a long-term solution to meet the future needs, we believe that by challenging customers with big ambitions to choose a sustainable option at first is the best option to make a big impact and lead development in this area. Sustainability through transparency will make Tea Emballage go from mainly getting paid from packaging materials to also getting paid for the added knowledge and value that the concept generates. The UN 2030 Agenda of Sustainability Development Goals requires this action, and Tea Emballage will lead the development by demanding this right now. By challenging the industry to be transparent and share their data, they set a new trend in the industry. Customers that's waiting to be more sustainable will make their choice and know where to look. The brand should also be built around this concept, and Tea Emballage will be leading and top of mind in the industry. Through the partnership, Tea Emballage can easier increase the share of the products that are in circular flows, since they can optimize reusage and recycling when working in the close collaboration with the entire value chain. The sustainability assessment provides insights into sustainability both for the clients and Tea Emballage, meaning the sustainability assessment will also be an important tool for Tea Emballage themselves when evaluating potential future customers. What does all this mean for Tea Emballage's current business model? A minor change. Since customer-specific product flows are already integrated, Tea Emballage does not have to change the process radically. The concept of sustainability through transparency can, starting tomorrow, one step at a time, be integrated into the business for a low cost and risk.
The time is now. That change starts with sustainability through transparency, and together we will make your customers do the right thing.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We are Simon, Anton, and Maya.
Thank you so much for that, Team 12. Now we're going to turn to the jury and see what questions they got.
Thank you very much for your presentation. I had a question on how this proposed sustainability to transparency and this sort of with that attached kind of badge or certification relates to other. I mean, I assume there would exist some kind of certifications or standards already on maybe on an international global scale, but also possibly in the specific sector. And have you considered how such a relatively small actor as Tea Emballage, 20 employees in Vetlanda, Småland, our region, potentially can have an impact, beyond the local, maybe challenging the other available certifications, or that creates incentives for customers to apply to and so on.
of course, and here you're talking about the labeling in mind, and we also choose to call it labeling, because the certification, that's a legal action, that's a huge legal framework, can take years to develop. A label you can do tomorrow, it's just electronic, it's just to prove your customers, put it on your website, no cost, no risk, development tomorrow already if you want to. And here we can also even start on a local size, because we know that all of your customers, or many of them, are located here on the Höglandet and in Småland area and south of Sweden. So we can start here, and the goal is to expand into the other Nordic countries. Take this concept, we work in a close area in a sustainable way where we have trust amongst our already existing customers, basically. And our aspect in the certification way has been mainly about the legal aspects, and instead we just call it a label, because a certification doesn't really need to mean that much. I don't think most of you know what Nyckelhålmärkt or miljömärkt actually means, to be honest.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a question about the tool that you had an idea about. Maybe you showed it, but I didn't get it. What kind of aspects do you take in consideration for the tool when coming up with a good result, getting the symbol? Is it like CO2 emissions and so on, and do we have an idea about how we could collect that data?
So it's a good question, and here is where we might need your expertise and really to dig into what should be involved in this. But we mainly focus on material, but also, as you guys mentioned, for example, just because it's plastic might have more emission when production. In the long run, it doesn't have to be that unsustainable per se. So it should be in social aspect, labor and cost from your suppliers, production aspects, and also transportation. And this also builds on specific needs for your customers. Is it maybe easier to focus on an industry and to develop larger scale and together work in a partnership to come up with a better product in the long run?
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you. I think that was all questions from the jury. Thank you so much, Team 12. And now it's time to present our final team that will come and pitch. Please give a warm applause to Team 13.
All right, welcome and good afternoon. My name is Nimrod, and with me I have Joachim, Benjamin, and Balazs, and we are CycleMade. Our challenge is to effectively achieve sustainability and profitability in the value chain, tackling the question of how to get customers and consumers to move to more environmentally friendly in their decision making. It is important for TM Balazs as it adds brand value towards likability and brand image. And this is how we achieved it.
So, we are CycleMade. Our solution is CycleMade. What CycleMade is it's a network system that can be controlled by TM Balazs that includes an internal segment and an external segment that I will shortly explain. And the goal of the entire system is to keep used materials within the supply chain without the need for any extra transportation. In order to portray this, we've created a model that will come up right now. Yes, And in this model, we can see that the red arrows represent deliveries being made by various agents in the supply chain, and the green arrows represent used materials that are recyclable, that make their way back with the transportation system that I'll explain now. So we have T-emballage, we have the producers at the top left, we have a third-party recycling company in the bottom, we have T-emballage clients, and then we have potential clients or stores that the clients sell to as well. So the way it works is, normally we know that clients, as well as T-emballage, make their deliveries using fleets or a truck, for instance, but every time they make a delivery, they return empty-handed. So this is what what CycleMate takes advantage of. Every time a delivery is made by, for example, a client to a store, they also collect used materials from previous deliveries or from previous packages and bring them back, transport them back on their return trips, and then store them at their sites, which then T-emballage can then get back again when they make a delivery to their clients. They can collect them again, and they can get the used material back to T-emballage. So in the end, T-emballage has all their materials back and can choose what to do with them. They can either sell the recyclable material, or they can get it recycled through a third party and then reintroduce it into the supply chain. The question now for us is, how do we integrate these clients? How do we make them a part of the system? And the way we've chosen to do that is through a membership system that basically entails what kind of you can see on the screen here. Every member of CycleMate within the supply chain system pays an annual membership fee and agrees to fulfill a set of requirements, which is to adhere to contracts with T-emballage, to agree to store used materials every time they receive packages, as well as fulfilling their duties in collecting the used materials and transporting them back on the same trips when they make deliveries. Then we have the external part of CycleMate. And this comes into handy when we consider the cases such as IKEA, when the packaged materials coming from T-emballage actually end up in the hands of the end customer rather than clients or stores. And for this, we have created an idea for a database, where essentially the external system is a database that leads to a map, a geographical map that has pinpointed locations of all CycleMate internal members. So the clients, the stores, anybody in the supply chain who are members of CycleMate, as well as regular recycling sites. And the way anybody can access this database is through a QR code that we have created that you can see here, that anybody can scan, anybody with a cell phone can scan, and it directs them to the map, which then shows them the nearest locations where any of these materials can be handed in and so on, and be reintroduced into the supply chain or recycled right away. Additionally, we also make it so that members of the internal system of CycleMate, when they pay their membership fee, they also gain authorization to create their own QR codes that they can then send whoever scans it to the same database, and then they can put these QR codes on whatever they want as well, which just creates extra incentive for the members to be members and to invite other members into this whole system. Which also leads us to the next thing we're talking about, which is the benefits. Why should clients want to join CycleMate? Why should T-emballage invest in this project at all? And this is what we will speak about now. First of all, we can point on the fact of the green image, because we know that CycleMate presents an opportunity for any members of the system, as well as T-emballage, to brand, to market their company as a green, an eco-friendly company that recycles, that is sustainable with everything they do. And we know this can be very valuable today because it adds to total brand value, since we also know through some research that many studies show that today consumers are willing to pay much more for products that come from a sustainable company, from what is branded as a green company. And a large majority of consumers strongly believe that companies should be more sustainable as well. So the idea is that attracting a wider consumer base will incentivize members of the supply chain to join and become members of Cycle Made, which benefits TM Balach as well, because the more members there are, the bigger this whole process gets, and the more profit, the more revenue they make as well, along with the sustainability aspect of things. And we also need to, as well, take into consideration the fact that our model heavily emphasizes that we successfully become more green and more sustainable by increasing recycling capabilities with no extra transports. So, which means that we also, without compromising transportation lengths, which means that we don't have any unnecessary CO2 emissions from additional transports in this case. So.
That being said, CycleMate is a scalable project because the larger it gets, the more efficient it becomes. And with time, increased trust will come with positive results that attract sponsors who can provide funding and financial support to aid the development of this project. So thank you very much for your attention and time, and choose CycleMate if you want to get paid for being a knowledge provider.
Thank you, Team 13. Jury, what are your questions?
Okay, thank you for your pitch. I think I get it. Logistic solution mainly, but there are already companies, recycling companies, experts in this. Have you thought about, or have you challenged any of the existing company or business models that are for recycling? And what do you think about our possibility to make effect on the decision makers, whether to use plastic or paper-based packaging?
Okay, so I can break that down. So I can break that down into basically 3 parts. First of all, we looked into the competitors that provide logistic solutions for sustainability. The value that we offer is, well, we're basically doing a similar thing, but we also have some extra benefits. So it's a similar, but with extra network benefits. And then of course we've heard that you have or you're already recycling and you use some other recycling companies, but that doesn't mean that the network is not worth joining. And you can still use the recycling companies. They can become part of the network, and that still works. And what was the last part of your question?
Whether the product focus or material focus, how can we use this tool to make impact on the decision making from day-to-day basis?
Yes. So our basically what happens is that you become more and more recyclable with this system, and so of course, unlike with, for example, data, where your customers choose between non-recyclable and recyclable option, you basically offer more recyclable options yourself, and also the end users are encouraged to recycle themselves and thereby help the sustainable system.
Thank you very much for a very nice presentation. I can clearly see, I think, the benefits for TM Balach in this proposal, but I still struggle a bit to fully grasp what's in it for the client or the member. If I understood you, they have to pay for it, and they also have to take care of some of the activities that TM Balach or another recycling company currently handling. So I was wondering, apart from you claim that there is the customers are willing to pay premium for green, which I'm not sure if you have solid data on that, but apart from that, if that is correct, apart from that, what's in it for the member?
Well, actually, okay, so let's start with the fact that we should not underestimate the greenness effect, because if our clients are more green, which they are if they join the system, they become more green, that also means they have a larger customer base. Larger customer base means more profit. Even if a client isn't looking to be more green, they're looking to be more profitable, and that's an incentive to join, which hopefully, if everything goes to plan, outweighs the membership price. And what else? Did we ever? Oh yes, it's definitely, this is also about scalability. Of course, your clients can already join. We did some meetings with the members of Tembelage before, and we basically got the impression that most of your clients already fulfill the requirements to join the membership. So they don't have to make that much extra effort. It's just the membership fee, which basically we have to calculate, but we don't have the contracts to see the numbers for that. If that's it, then thank you.
Seems like there are no more questions to this team. Thank you, jury, and thank you, team. And really nice t-shirts, by the way. Actually, during this competition, all participants have received their e-challenge t-shirts. So it's nice to see them used as well.
Yes.
And a big thank you to all the teams that we have been seeing pitching now. And jury, you are free to leave to take your decision. But before that as well, I want to hear it one more time for all the teams.
And I must say, wow, you all have been so good. And how are you feeling, Malin?
I feel great. It has been so inspiring to hear the different takes that you have had on this case. I honestly don't know what I would have answered to this.
No, not me neither. Like, it's a very hard case.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, an assignment in 24 hours, I have started late, but this is something else, definitely.
No time for procrastination here, for sure.
So what is going to happen now is that the jury, they will discuss all the pitches from all different angles, and they will decide who the winners will be.
And we, in the meanwhile, we understand that you're a bit tired. It's a long schedule that we have, but we do have a fun schedule ahead right now. Because we are going to vote for the best pitch. We're going to talk to some participants. Maybe, we'll see. We will have a special guest later. And that's right before we're going to take a little break, give you some fika, some drinks and something to eat, and then it's time for the prize ceremony.
Yes. But before we do, we would like to say a big thank you to our team that has been doing this.
Maybe
and we do have a picture of them, I believe.
Well,
meanwhile. So firstly, we would like to say thank you to our sponsor team, Emma, Victor, and Axel, who has fixed the goodie bags for pre-challenge and all the products that you have had this week. Then thank you to our event team, Elna, Rebecca, Leon, and Nicole. They have fixed all the logistics and outline of this week, so thank you. And last but not least, our marketing team, Tim, Dillian, and Terrence, who fixed all the graphics and videos.
Yes, let's give them an applause. And we would also like to thank all of our sponsors for supplying us with products for e-challenge and pre-challenge, our mingling event that took place in March. A big thank you to ICA Klostergatan, Boobs Food, Bernhards Konditori, ABC Skin, Libresse, Sprout, Flux, Akavia, and Shooters for letting us try new products, giving out prizes, and for making sure our contestants are energized and focused during the case. Now I'm gonna thank you, or I'm sure they are happy for that applause. I'm gonna leave you for a little moment. I will soon come back, and in the meanwhile, Anna is gonna tell mostly those of you who have not taken part of the case a little bit more about it.
Yes. So, as we said, we in Entrepreneurship Academy has been responsible for arranging this event. And we are part of JSA here at JIBS. And we are a group that firstly created at 2017. And we want to inspire and support students within entrepreneurship. So, see if I get this to work. Here we go. So we have different events during the year. So firstly, we have a fair for first-year students, so they can show off the products that they have made in the entrepreneurship course. Then we have Inspire Lecture with people within entrepreneurship, and I think Molly is going to come back to that a bit later. And then, of course, we do e-challenge. And as a part of each challenge, we have a pre-challenge, where teams can find the team members. Because as you probably know by now, is that you must have a JTH and one JIBS student. And most people don't know people at the other schools. So this is a great event to find your team members. And we also have a Facebook group where you can find team members. And actually, last year's winner, when we didn't have a live event like this year, our winners found each other on Facebook. So it's quite impressive that people can just meet, talk, and then stand here a few weeks later and being in the chance of winning the whole competition. So, yes, now works. So most of you that are here today have been a part of the competition, and you know how the outline looks like. But for you who have not been a contestant this year, I'm going to tell you a bit about how it looks like. So on the Monday, this is the first day, the case company come here and have a presentation about them and what the case will be like. Then after that, Science Park has a pitch lecture and gives some useful tips and techniques to all the contestants that they can use for their presentations. Then after this, the game pack is delivered. And this has pretty much all information that everyone can need and probably do need for this competition. Then on Tuesday, we have an opening ceremony. And after this, the 24 hectic hours starts, because now it is only one day left before they need to submit the whole solution. And also during this day, the teams get mentored by people from JU, from Science Park, and from the case company. Then on Wednesday morning, we have the submission at 9 in the morning. And I looked in our email this morning and saw that people were emailing us 4 in the morning. So I bet that people have been staying up pretty much all night to be able to finish this task, which is quite impressive that you are now here and have been presenting, and I can tell that you're even tired. And then it's time after they have submitted to present for the pre-jury, who would choose the top 6 teams that get to present here that we just have seen. And after this, we have the grand final, and of course, an after party at Jubel. So to give some more insights about this competition and how it is to be a contestant, we have invited 2 contestants that will come up here and talk about their experience. Please give a warm applause to Rebecca and Nimrod. And you have your microphones here. Thank you so much for coming. And you can come in a little bit closer, I think. It's nice to be in the light. Thank you so much for being here. How do you feel? You have just been pitching.
Yeah, I mean, it's such an interesting challenge to be in, because you really need to put your knowledge to the test. And I think it's been really nice to be pitching. I got a little bit of a froze, but it worked out anyways.
You did great.
Thank you.
Right, it was an amazing experience, especially meeting new people, but staying up till literally 5 a.m. did hurt kind of little, but it was definitely worth it being here at the end.
Yes, I can imagine, and you don't look tired, so you're all good.
Thank you.
And how did you experience the case?
We found it a little bit challenging in the beginning to actually know what the case company was looking for, because it was kind of a big case and it's always hard to know exactly what way to go. So we had kind of an extensive brainstorming session for a few hours. But then after that, we decided on an idea and we just went for it.
Yeah. And for you?
Same here. We worked all day on that one idea, and on the second day of the entrepreneurship or the e-challenge, we actually managed to figure out the idea. And then we just stormed the CEOs of the table log for actually questions. So it was an intense day, but it was really worth it.
Yeah, and you're speaking about questions. How did you think the mentor sessions were? Did they help you anything with the case? Did they get useful tips?
We had kind of nice mentoring sessions. I think
Yeah.
you had to go to a mentoring session with Science Park and JIBS and also the case company. And for the case company, it's super beneficial to get that knowledge and the clues that you want for the case. But also the Science Park really helped with the pitching and the way of performing the pitch, basically.
Yeah. And for you, do you feel the same?
Definitely. It was an enormous help for us and the entire team, and I'm sure for everyone else here.
Yeah, I can imagine. And how do you feel about the time management? It is quite stressful. I haven't contested myself, but I can only imagine.
Yeah, we didn't do what you guys did, so we actually got some sleep in. It's all about how you plan your days. So if you're efficient and you know how to manage your time, it's totally fine. You can sleep if you want to. Or if you want to make a big thing out of it and you want to work really hard, then you can stay up all night. And for our team, I think it was really nice that we got some sleep, we were efficient, and then we could perform.
Yes.
And our team's request is that for the next time, please just hand out inflatable sleeping bags, inflatable beds, because buses don't go out 4 a.m. That's all.
I will tell that to next project managers of this. I will let them know. And what was the best with your experience?
I think for me personally and my team, it's really nice to really test your knowledge and challenge yourself. And it's really valuable to get this close to the real world and the companies. And that is such a valuable lesson to see what they are looking for and what you can contribute with. So it was really, really nice.
Precisely like you said, Rebecca, it was an amazing first-hand working experience and actually seeing how it might work out in the future for us as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I must ask, I didn't ask, but from which school do you come? Do you come from JIBS or GTH?
I'm from JIBS.
JIBS.
From JIBS.
Oh, okay. And did you find it hard to find team members for this? Or did you know people at the other school?
We did find it somewhat hard in the beginning to find someone from JTH because my team is mainly from JIBS.
Yeah.
But we did use the Facebook group to try to find some members, but eventually we did have some connections in the group and we were able to find a really great JTH member.
Nice.
And for us, our amazing team leader, Balazs, he was the one that organized all group members being there. So thank you to him.
Well, thank you then. And then, did you learn anything new about the case company? Are you from around here? Or did you know them before?
For me, I did know about them before. I have family that comes from Vetlanda, but I'm not from here originally anyways. But I think we definitely learned way more than I knew before, so that was really nice.
Yeah, and for you?
It's my first time hearing about them because I'm from Hungary, so it was nice.
Yeah, and do you think you can use everything you have learned here, not everything maybe, but some of the things in the future?
Definitely. I think that time management, also what role you have within your group and how you work together and all the different stages, so the brainstorming and how you work together, and then finally how to present and how to actually pitch is super valuable for the future.
Yes, definitely. Yes. And for you?
I fully agree with Rebecca.
Nice. Well, I just want to say a big thank you to you guys again, and good job today. Give them a warm applause. Now, I must be honest, I'm not quite sure. We should have a slideshow. Is that correct, Anna? Okay, we're going to skip the slideshow. We're going to take that later, because we don't have the sound, and we would like a sound for that one. Okay. So I think it's time for Malin to come back on stage, and we will just switch around a bit. Give her an applause.
Thank you. So me and Anna has made a pact that we're not leaving the stage until you are extremely tired of us. And I think some of you are still looking at me, so I'm going to go on a little bit longer. So we do have a slideshow that we can show at a later stage when the sound on the computer is actually working. It's a really cute slideshow showing pictures from Entrepreneurship Academy's events throughout the years and actually ending with some cute pictures from this year's e-challenge. And I was supposed to come up here and say that it all seems fun, doesn't it? But you will see it later. And I can say from being in Entrepreneurship Academy for 2 years, it is a lot of fun. And many of those students that have been in the competitions, or for you that are here today, might be the upcoming entrepreneurs of our generation. Who knows? I think it looks like if you asked me, especially after hearing your amazing pitches today. And at this point, you probably know that entrepreneurship, it's our core topic here. You can find it in the name of our project, in the name of every event that we do, so it is obviously close to our hearts. Speaking of events, we can switch here, this fall, we got to dive deeper into this topic for real when arranging a guest lecture. Sponsored by Aktiestinsen, we got the chance to invite Jerry Engström to the school and listen to the most brilliant career that he has made in the spirit of entrepreneurship. Jerry here on the photo to the right have followed amazing journeys with companies like Fjällräven, Unilever, and also started his own company Friluftsbyn. And people like Jerry really seem to have more hours per day than most of us do. I mean, sometimes I watch one lecture and then I do the laundry and my day is done. Don't even start thinking about making a business somewhere in there. I don't know, does anyone agree? Yeah, we have all been there. And I think that you and I are not the first to wonder, how does people like Jerry here do it? Where does the ideas come from, and how can you start from somewhere and one day live off your dream? We can go on here. There are so many different takes of entrepreneurship. And we have asked Isak Nilsson, that was here with us before, to define what entrepreneurship can look like in the organization of T-Emballage. And we got the answer that it is a high degree of independence and delegating leadership entails day-to-day decisions at the operations level which encourage entrepreneurship. Retaining the entrepreneurial spirit of companies therefore involve leadership, expertise, and high levels of decentralized control. And this quote can sound slightly different than what you get if you go on Pinterest or on Instagram and you search entrepreneurial quote. But we in Entrepreneurship Academy, we love the mix of it. We love working closely with companies that are out there and have such high levels of expertise and knowledge within their fields and have a long history of working in these specific fields. But we also see that entrepreneurs can be found anywhere. Ranging from your friends in preschool that traded Pokemon cards for money, to your local grocery store owner or developers of world-leading countries, that is what we like to see, that there is such a diversity within entrepreneurship. And, for example, individuals like this one, Lennart so-called Aktiestinsen Israelsson, who is the person that has made this entire event possible from the start. This man here saw an opportunity in 1946 to invest 600 crowns instead of buying a farm here in Småland. During the years, he watched them grow to over 140 million crowns, and it made him one of Sweden's most well-known stock investors. And luckily, he made a donation to JIBS shortly before passing, and today we have a board of Aktiestinsen, which are few of the people that are in the jury as well. They are the board of the fund and the organization today, and they give tasks to projects like Entrepreneurship Academy to do these events. And maybe this, go back. That's for later. Maybe this doesn't help us do our laundry or time management more efficiently. Not at all, actually. But we in Entrepreneurship Academy, we believe that inspiration is the start. And that is why we exist and why we create events like this one. So what we try to do, we really have no other goal than to inspire you at least a little bit. And I was going to invite the president of JTH with me here now to discuss the phenomenon of entrepreneurship further. But we are slightly ahead of time schedule, and being the president of High Tech in JTH is a very, very busy job. She has many meetings today, and we have to keep our fingers crossed that she can stop by later instead. So I'm going to take back Anna.
Woo. Thank you, and thank you for that applause. So I think we have a really exciting moment ahead of us, don't we?
We do, because now We think that you in the teams are quite nervous. The finalists here have been sitting and probably waiting for this moment. And I bet that you in the audience as well have quite some favorites among the pitches we have seen today. It is hard to choose, but everyone here has to choose only one.
So we will now do the voting for the best pitch. Yes.
So you can go to your phones, everyone can scan the code or go to Menti, and this is something that you can do from home as well if you're watching the live stream.
Yes, and of course, you can only vote
You
once.
can vote once, exactly. And the results are hidden for now.
So we will actually resolve the results when the jury comes back. And I think we have a question here. Okay, let's do it from the beginning then. So first, we had group 2. And then we...
Should we
Sorry.
invite the groups to the stage so
Yeah,
we can all
let's
see who
invite
they
them.
are? Should
Come
we
on
first
up.
get up team number 2 to the stage so we at least recognize their faces? And maybe we can get some music as well. Yes. Here we have team number 2. No. Okay. Welcome. And we can also maybe get team number 5 up here. Yeah, now it's like a fashion show. Thank you, team number 2. You can go back to your seats. And here we have team number 5. And
Get
now
a good look.
Team number 7 can come up. Here we have team number 7. And let's go to team number 9. Great. Thank you, team number 9. Let's go to team number 12.
And they have a bit longer to walk, but they are coming here from the other side.
Yes.
It kind of is like a fashion show, but I must say I like it. So here we have team 12.
And lastly, team number 13. It's hard to miss those nice t-shirts. Thank you, team number 13.
Malin giving a compliment to herself because she made them.
Yes, I designed them myself, that is true. We are going to give you a few minutes more to vote, so if you haven't, go to Menti or scan the QR code.
And as we said, you at home can of course also do this.
Yes.
So I think pretty much everyone got a nice look at our amazing teams. Give them a warm applause again. So I hope everyone has voted, and as we said, we will announce the winners when the jury comes back.
Yes. I think now we can announce that the voting is officially closed.
Yes. And now,
not everyone here has been part of the finalist teams or have been partaking in this challenge. And we think that all of us here do deserve a little challenge and the chance to feel like a winner.
yes, but we're gonna keep the challenge a bit longer to wait because I think we have some technical issues. So what we will do now is that we will have a small break. And meanwhile, we have some fika for everyone here and some nice cider that everyone can drink.
Alcohol-free cider.
Of course. So please help yourself in the back and we will meet you back in a while. Thank you so much.
About 10-15 minutes.
10-15 minutes.
We will let you know when it's time to head back. Thank you. Okay, welcome back, everyone. I hope that you found yourself some nice fika and snacks out there so that you are energized for the coming prize ceremony.
Yes, and the jury will soon come back. They have some really good pitches to decide on. So we will firstly do what Malin talked about earlier, do a Kahoot. And this is something that all of you in the audience can do, and you will win a gift card. Woo!
So the number one
Yes.
prize wins a gift card worth of 300 crowns at Jönköping City, which means any store in this city that you would like to go to.
Yes, and I see you have already started to put in your names. That's great.
And I can also say that unfortunately this competition of course you can join from home, but you cannot win the prize from home if you are watching on your computer or so on. The prize will be given out physically, but we do encourage you all to join us and test your knowledge with these questions.
Yes, so I think, have everyone joined? Looks like they
it.
have.
Yes. This is your very last chance to join.
Yes.
Let's start.
Yes.
Starting with, who is that? Is this Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Larry Page, or Warren Buffett? And it is Elon Musk. Dimitris is leading so far. Great job. You also have to be fast. And what New York street is closely related to finance? Is it Washington Street, Broadway, Wall Street, or Pineapple Street? It is indeed Wall Street. Where was the world's oldest auction house? Or where is it? In which city? Is it in London, Stockholm, Amsterdam, or Paris? It's all fun and games in the beginning, but then it gets a little bit harder. It is Stockholm.
Oh, we got a new leader.
New lead. Good job, Benjamin. Who is the wealthiest monarch in the world? Is it the Emir of Qatar, the Sultan of Brunei, the King of Thailand, or the Queen of England?
I can see on some faces that it's getting trickier and trickier with the questions.
And the person who wins will get 300 crowns wealthier. Almost like the King of Thailand. The new shekel is the currency of which country? Afghanistan, Kenya, Brunei, or Israel? That's a tricky one. It is Israel.
Oh, Benjamin is still in the lead. How old was Bill Gates when he became a billionaire? So 31, 52, 25, or 41?
And how old are you going to be when you become billionaires? That's another question.
He was 31. So I think most of us is getting close.
Few years left.
Grain shortage in the 15th century led to which German law? The feeding law, the ingredients clause, the clarity rule, or the parity percept? And you can even try to say the German word. I'm probably not going to do it, but you can do it if you would like to.
We have a new lead. Exciting.
What was Lamborghini first known for? Racing cars, motorcycles, military vehicles, or farming tractors? If it is farming tractors, they have come a long way for today.
Yes, indeed. Long way, very fast.
And it is.
It is. Great that we know the answers.
Oh, still in the lead. And now I think it's the final question. Which company was initially called Backrub? Facebook, Wikipedia, Amazon, or Google? And of course, it is Google. So I think we have a winner. On the third place, Christian. Dillian and Compy second place, and
H. Gerdhagen as the winner. Can we get, is it Hanna Gerdhagen on stage to get your prize? Yes,
it
it's
is
okay.
fine that you come as well.
You may come and pick the prize yourself. We don't have a very explicit motivation. No motivation for this one, but a very good job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you all of you who were in this competition. But now, let's get to the serious stuff. Now it won't be 300 kroners. Now it will be quite a lot more. It will be in total 130,000 kroners.
Yes, and I can see that the grand jury is waiting outside. We can let you all in to come if you can hear me. Maybe someone from the team can let the jury know that they are welcome back.
But in the meanwhile, we will present the best pitch. So let's welcome Anders Nyberg from Science Park. Okay, see if that one, let's switch. Does the sound work? Yes. Okay, thank you so much for coming here. How's your afternoon been? You've heard a lot of pitches now.
It was very interesting, and it's always very hard to both digest so much.
No.
Oh, but you need to turn it on.
Okay, sorry, my bad.
Okay, how about that?
No.
No. You. Let's just talk very loud.
I just talk loud.
Yes.
No, it's always very interesting. Of course,
Yeah.
very hard to both digest so much material. You know, it's like 6 pitches. You need to be sharp all the time, and then to somehow, convene around a winner is always very challenging, but also very fun.
Yes.
And a great afternoon.
And we know that the audience have decided the winner, but what do you usually look for in good pitches on Science Park?
The first thing is, of course, the content. That's my take on pitches. I mean, if you have a lousy content, it doesn't matter how well you pitch it, it's still a lousy content. So the first thing is to focus on content.
Yes.
And then, of course, you want to have some kind of, catch. You want to, catch the audience, get their attention. That's the first thing. And then clearly present the problem you're addressing, the need of the company you're addressing, your approach, what benefits it brings, and how that creates, competitive advantages for the company. And then end it with a good summary and next step and a call to action. That's more the flow we're looking for. And of course, you want it to be presented with enthusiasm, with some energy, some flow on stage. That's kind of important as well. And to find the right balance between, bringing a clear, concise message, but still enough details to make it, understandable, tangible, feasible. So find that sweet spot, so to say. And then, have prepared good answers for the questions. That's sometimes that's forgotten, to have really good answers to the questions from investors, from the jury, from the team member you're trying to address to your team. So those are the main qualities we look for when we look for a good pitch.
Yes, that's very interesting. I think that's some of the things that we heard Monday from Jönköping. Yes.
You'd be surprised if it wasn't.
Yes, I can imagine. But now I think we have come to the time, haven't we, Malin?
Yes, we have. Anders, who is the winning team of the pitch prize?
Well, I'm going to go down and fetch the diploma and everything.
Yes.
So luckily for this prize, you have to come up with motivation. It's all voted. So it's the audience, so to say. And the winner, that is team number 5.
Come up to
Welcome
the
team
stage.
number 5. Congratulations, Team 5. How does it feel?
It feels really good, I think.
Yeah, it feels good.
We really appreciate that everyone voted on us.
Yeah, of course. You had an amazing pitch. But what do you think was the reason why you stood out and became the best pitch today?
I think it was because we involved some humor in some sense, and that we tried to catch the audience with a hook in the beginning and got back to it in the end.
I couldn't agree more.
Do you want to say anything else?
We're just very, very grateful for everyone who voted for us. And I think that's it. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, team number 5.
And of course, you will get some flowers as well before you leave the stage. Thank you so much, and congratulations.
And thank you, Anders and Science Park, for heading up that prize. Now it is time to present the 3rd and 2nd place of this competition. We welcome up on stage Jerker Modison, the Dean and Managing Director of JIBS, to the stage. Är den på?
Hope it works now.
It does.
Yes.
It
Okay,
does.
perfect. Thank you so much for coming. How has this afternoon been for you?
Oh, it's an intense afternoon, really fun. I always say this is the second most enjoyable day of the whole year. The most enjoyable day is the graduation day, but this is a runner-up.
That's very good.
But very intense.
Yes.
Yes.
And has it been hard to decide these prizes? You were away for quite a long time.
Yeah, I mean, this half hour, 40 minutes, tend to be 45, 50 minutes is always the most, I would say this is the most stressful half an hour, 40 minutes of the year, actually, because you really have to, I mean, it's short time, but we want to do as good as possible as a jury, because we realize we hand out real prizes, real money, so we don't want to do this just in a sloppy way. We really want to do it properly, and therefore it takes some time. So I hope we didn't keep you waiting too long.
No.
We had a really good time over here, so and no one has complained, at least. But what do you think about this year's case?
I think it was a very good challenge, a very well framed challenge. The company had sort of set the scene quite well, which we also could see that this results that tend to result in challenges moving in similar directions, which means hopefully, probably, that it is focus on feasibility, that it's relevance, feasibility at forefront, which sometimes comes with the risk of overshadowing the creativity and wildness of ideas. So, but I think that's the core of this challenge, to be able to combine creativity, making something original and new, and to keep both feet on earth and come up with something which is also realistic. And the framing of the challenge makes the feasibility easier for the teams to meet, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And now I think we have come to the point where you will get the motivation for 3rd place. And this team will leave with 20,000 kroners. So please give your motivation.
Yes. I haven't been able to memorize it yet because it's completely fresh. So I start with the motivation for the, do we call it the second runner-up?
We can call it the second runner-up.
Sounds better than number 3. But it's still on the podium.
I agree.
Very well deserved. The motivation is the following. The team has a clear focus on customer involvement for the partnerships necessary to solve problems that spans the whole value chain. Using multiple tools such as online community, events and workshops, the team has provided actionable ways to increase customer involvement and demand for truly sustainable solutions. Who is smiling? And the second runner-up is team number 5.
Woo!
Will you split it evenly? And invest in the business proposal? Sounds good.
How does it feel, guys? You have won 2 prizes now.
It's feel good and nice to do it with these guys, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, like we're really happy and thank you so much. It's amazing.
How has this week been for you and these 3 days, now that you're standing here with 2 prizes?
I don't know. Like starting on the Monday felt like kind of a long reach to get here. We had quite a few ideas, but we tried to find a good one, and yeah, it seems like we managed. So it's fun.
It really does.
Agreed. Well, congratulations once again. Please give them a warm applause. So now I think it's time to move to the runner-up. Jerker, what is the motivation?
The motivation for the runner-up is the following. With a clear understanding of the importance of strategic partnerships with stakeholders, the team has provided a solution that can increase customers' awareness and understanding how packaging choice impacts the entire value chain. The solution is based on solid information about both macro and market conditions. The runner-up team is team number 7.
Welcome, team number 7. Welcome again, team number 7. How does it feel?
I think we see if we can
yeah.
Yes.
Do you hear me? Yes. It feels amazing. It's been a hell of a 3 days. It has its ups and downs, and yeah.
Yeah, we're very grateful and yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah, and I've been quite a few days that you have been stuck with each other, you could say. How has the teamwork been?
Very cozy.
No, but I mean, working together with these people has been amazing, even though we had some, as you said, ups and downs, and it took some time to find an idea, but we managed.
Yes, it really does. You really managed because you're here with a second prize. You're the runner-up. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And now it's finally time to present the winners and the team that will go home with 60,000 crowns.
And this is exciting.
It really is.
And how much money will they leave the room with?
60,000
crowns. And in order to do this, let's welcome Björn, CEO of T-Emballage, and Anders, CMO of T-Emballage, up to the stage with us.
But before we read, we want to hear from you guys. How has this been for you?
I must say, we have said this to each other many times during these days, that we are being so inspired by your engagement and your effort in making this challenge a good challenge. And we really want to thank you for giving us the time, even night hours during these 24 hours. So thank you very much from our side, I would say.
Yes, also from our side, it has been 3 intense days, but we're very impressed by the hard work and all the good ideas, and thank you all of the teams. We have had some interesting discussions yesterday in the mentoring, and it's also been really nice to hear all the pitches today. So good work, everybody. Thank you.
And thank you for presenting this case. Now, Jerker.
With a good understanding, I just see so I don't get the wrong notes here. Just kidding. With a good understanding of the challenge facing T-Emballage, the team suggests modes to illustrate to clients how their choice of packaging solutions impacts the total footprint of the production using dashboards to give a graphical illustration. Further, they point to how value can be added to packaging by providing easily accessible information for closing the loop. The combination of relevance and simplicity makes this a winner. No one is cheering already. The winners are team number 2.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, guys. How does it feel?
Yeah, the goal was to win, and that
Well, you did, so you managed to complete your goal, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And do you know what you will do with this money? Maybe it's hard?
I will probably split it half for fun, half for something useful, meaningful, but haven't made that up yet.
Half of this is going tonight.
See you in Akka tonight, for sure. We suppose that you are very ready to celebrate. Do you have any last words?
No.
No, not much more to say. Thank you so much, and a huge congratulations to your win.
Give them a warm applause. Congratulations. Wow, this has truly been amazing, I must say. So fun to see them over there celebrating.
Yeah.
I can imagine why they are happy. I definitely would have been.
It is unbelievable what 4 people can do when they put their creative minds together in this short amount of time.
It truly is. So thank you, all of you who's been competing this year. We have really seen some good ideas, and I am so impressed by all of you.
And a big thank you to T-Emballage for coming here and bringing this year's case.
We have had so much fun. And we also want to say a big thank you to everyone who's made this live stream possible. So thank you, Hannah, Camilla, Anna, Joachim, och Andreas. And of course, thank you, Jonas, for all of your help.
Lastly, we want to say one more thank you to the Entrepreneurship Academy team for helping me and Anna through this process and doing it together with us. And thank you to all of you who made it here today and that have been voting, participating in the competitions, and bared with me and Anna for some hours.
Yes.
First thing I can say is that we would love to take photos of all of you winners, so don't rush to Jubel just yet. Please meet us here by the photo wall. The rest of you are free to rush to Jubel if you want to, but first we are going to show our slideshow of photos from our events, the last year's previous e-challenges and previous events.
A final word, thank you. Thank you so much, and thank you everyone that's been here. Thank you everyone from home. We are done now.
Yes,
So
this is all for us.
See you next year.
And see you in Jubel.
Thank you.